Welcome back to Relay Gun Adventures and to the SMK XS20 Custom. Now, this isn't my rifle. I've got this on loan so I can do the review. This is a really well put together, nice firing, easy going, smart looking rifle, and I have struggled to find one. There are a few around. They're too far away, and in some cases they're too expensive. This has got a retail price of around about 225 quid. They do the plain Jane version for around about 180, 190. The plain Jane version's probably as good, but this just looks so much better. So let's get straight into it. SMK say this is an Italian sporter. Okay, it looks very German to me. The trigger looks like a record trigger. It's the same unit that's on the XS41 actually. Now this is the rifle it was designed for. Having fired this, I can tell you that it is a thing of beauty. It's not quite there with a record, but it's a damn good trigger unit, the best I've come across on a Chinese rifle. The stock is really nice. I mean, it's really well finished. It feels like a top of the range expensive air rifle stock. It's, I guess it's beech, but it actually looks like walnut. In fact, I think it probably is walnut looking at it. The checkering is lovely and deep, nice and grippy. It's really well finished. It feels like a top quality rifle. Now the bluing, as with all the recent Chinese rifles I've looked at, is as good as anyone's. Everything about this gun shouts the fatherland, doesn't it? It just looks incredibly German, to the point that the first time I saw one of these, somebody pulled it out of the bag and I thought, oh, it's a Weihrauch. Clearly it's not, it's an SMK. Now, you'd expect it to be cheaply made of inferior components. I don't think it is, to be honest. The way it fires, the way it cocks, the way that everything works, the way that the trigger feels, the quality of this timber, I mean, I don't know, maybe SMK are saying that this is an Italian stock. It's certainly got the quality of finish to be. It's definitely not a Chinese stock. They also say that these rifles are assembled in the UK by their highly trained gunsmiths. That may well be true. I've got to be honest, my first impression was this is a tuned rifle. It's got that feel to it. Everything is so smooth, everything just works so well together that, well, the only conclusion is someone's tinkered. But I'm assured they haven't, that this is as it came. Although that may not be the case, because the history of rifles does tend to get a bit blurred when they change hands. Now, I am really impressed and I really like this, and before I sort of say too much more, I'd like to get on, do some shooting so I can show you what it is about this that I like. I've popped on my spare Vict Optics 3x9x40 scope, which is nothing wonderful, but it's certainly good enough for what I'm going to do today. I'm going to shoot at 30 yards, and I'm going to shoot JSP Exact Diablos, which are my sort of go-to pellet for the test these days. We'll have a look and come back. I'll go through the specs after the shooting and we'll talk about what you get for your money. But I can tell you now, what you get for your money is a lot of rifle. Anyway, I'll be right back. So there you go. That is a 225 quid air rifle that looks and feels like a 500 quid air rifle that shoots and groups and is incredibly accurate. It's like a laser. In fact, I did, as an experiment, take the scope off. There's no open sights on this, they've been removed, and I just fired it lining the barrel up at 10 yards and it hit pretty much everywhere I pointed it. So yeah, it's a great rifle. Now weight wise, this weighs in at just over 8 pounds, so it's not light. It's in the same sort of weight range as the equivalent European rifles. Overall, it's 42.5 inches, including the hefty muzzle weight on there, and the weight that I've just given you does include that muzzle weight as well. You can take that off. I don't know why you want to, because it looks really smart. The barrel length of that is 16 inches, so this is quite a long rifle. It's not a carbine. All I can tell you really is that if you want to spend sort of 200, 225 mark in money, and you can track one down off the peg, then this is a great investment. If you get one, hang on to it, because I can't imagine that they're going to get any better. This is the flagship rifle, and I just can't see that SMK have got anywhere else to go. All they're going to do is make them cheaper, possibly. Anyway, back to the point in question. Now, break barrels can vary wildly. That is as smooth as silk, and that last little bit engages the auto safety just like it would on an equivalent German rifle. It's just a push through safety, again, as it would be on the equivalent German rifle. Once you've taken the safety off, it stays off. In fact, I need to fire that, and I can't fire in here, so I'm just going to break for a second. I'll be right back. Right, sorry about that short pause there. That's my mistake. I thought this had an anti-bear trap. It doesn't. So what happened was when I cocked it, engaged that safety, I thought, pop the safety off, pull the trigger. As soon as I do that, the safety re-engages. So what you have to do is to release it slightly, pull the trigger, and you can decock it. As I say, smooth as silk. Shoots really well. The only rattle is this scope. In fact, let's get rid of those. Scope rails nicely machined. Apparently, and I haven't checked this, but apparently when you buy these, the open sights are an optional extra. So that's why this one doesn't have them. So I'm told. Unfortunately, it's not mine. I wish it was. I've got to give it back. It's going to be a sad occasion. So I think before I do that, I'm going to go and shoot some more. But in conclusion, this is a nice, well-built, good-looking, easy shooting rifle at full power. Just in case I've forgotten to mention it before, over the chrono with the JSBs, 11.6 FPE, which is more than adequate for most uses. This is a hunting rifle at the end of the day. It's certainly up to the job. I can't see anything about this that will cause you any problems. I love the trigger because it's so close to the record trigger. In fact, there's another close-up of that, just in case it didn't capture it earlier. That is a really, really good trigger on there, and incredibly adjustable, as you'd expect. So that's the SMK XS20 Custom. Definitely, if you're going to get one, get the Custom. That stock is just gorgeous, and the finish on it is close to perfection. Everything else on the gun's nice too, but it's the stock that makes this a standout air rifle. Anyway, before I waffle too much, thank you very much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. It's a big thanks to all those who have, and I say this every time, but I really do appreciate it. I'll be back soon. I've got a few things lined up. This was one of them, but I've got something else coming of interest as well. Anyway, that's enough. See you all again soon. Bye for now.